Hi, I'm Rosalie, and this is the Baby Notebook. My parents were predators, and they documented my life obsessively. This notebook was written over 40 years ago. I've never read it until now. I recorded myself reading the Baby Notebook to catch my natural reactions, to see my face, to feel my energy, to be able to read myself. I teach this process of witnessing in the diner. I created everything that the Plumb Collective is to help myself. The practice, a course, and reading photos is for me. It's about me being me. I use the tools that I created to help myself, and I'm sharing it with you. Witness me witnessing myself. Read the words my parents wrote about me, to me, but they weren't for me. This is the Baby Notebook. March 19th, 1984 at 8 a.m. Our dear, sweet, wonderful baby. Daddy and I and my dad's mom went baby shopping. We bought you real diapers, a bottle, a bathtub, a tubby, bumper pads for your crib, a toy, a blanket. Then Grandma bought you a nice blanket and 2 bibs. We still need some things for you, honey, but we'll get it. We won't let you go without. Grandma has been with us since Saturday morning. We will be taking her home tomorrow, Tuesday night. It sure is nice getting to know your grandma better. Just wait until you are born and Grandma comes to visit when you two can get to know each other real good. This morning, Mommy called her sister, and she's really excited about your birth. She said she thinks of you as her baby too. She's making you a Cabbage Patch doll that is a really popular doll around here now. It's going to be a newborn baby just like you. Not only that, but they are going to give you their rocking horse. That is a super nice gift. It's very expensive. But the nicest part of the gift is that Mama knows how much that horse meant to both of them. We have to be super grateful because this is more a gift of love than anything else. It's just creepy, that just is weird. We have to be super grateful because this is more a gift of love than anything else. Okay, we also are going to go shopping for you tonight. And I forgot to tell you that we picked up a bassinet high chair, and last night we bought an infant seat for you from the neighbors. It's almost like new and at a very good price. We love you, honey. I also forgot to tell you the ultrasound test showed everything is going well, and we videotaped it so you can watch it. And your date is still well, they were wrong on the date. 1 month from tomorrow. So they thought that my C-section date was going to be April 20th, but that was not the case. Love you bunches, Mama. So it's just, I could have had a 420 birthday. Maybe somebody else would hear this entry and not hear it in the way that I am, but it's like she felt good that her sister wanted to claim this baby. She felt good that she got an expensive gift, but it was more important to her that it was like taking something from her sister, or that her sister was like willing to give it to her when it meant so much to her. It's like subtle, but definitely the mind tricks are there. And so it's, I don't know, maybe it's not that subtle. This feels more overt than some of the other entries. Ugh, I don't like it. Will be so happy, I promise you. Maybe I am reading it in a villainous tone. That is possible, but it sounds like a threat when you know who this person was and what she did to me. It reads like a fucking threat. March 28th, 1984. Hi, baby sweets. Mom and Dad went to the doctor yesterday, and we didn't get as good a report as we have in the past. Mama's blood pressure has gone up, and she is retaining water. The doctor wants Mama to lay down 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the afternoon. That will hopefully lower my blood pressure and help get rid of the extra water. Mama's next appointment is 1 week, next Tuesday, April 3rd. And the doctor said if my blood pressure doesn't go down, he will put me in the hospital until you are born. Mama doesn't want to be away from Daddy so much. We really love to be together. Otherwise, the doctor said you are still 38 centimeters long, and heart rate of 158. The doctor also said that your head was down, and right now I feel you kicking and punching up a storm. I love it when I feel you moving around. I really like it when Daddy is here to feel you too. The doctor had us scheduled to have you at 8:30 on April 20th, but then he realized that that was Good Friday, which meant that we would be in the hospital over Easter. So now he has changed it to April 23rd, unless you decide to come earlier and set your own date and time. The only thing that our doctor visit yesterday really told us is that ever so soon your mother and father will be holding our joyous bundle of joy, our precious darling child. Okay, it just keeps going. A combination of our bodies that truly represents our love. You, honey. Okay, we finally stopped. We'll be able to look at you. No, we did not. Oh, God. Okay, this doesn't sound weird to anybody. If this is the first entry you're hearing, does this sound weird to you? If you know more of the story, does this sound weird to you? Please let me know. My heart's racing. Okay. We'll be able to look at you, hold you, touch you, tickle you, squeeze you, smile at you, care for your every need, and rejoice in your growth. You're made and are making us so proud and happy. We are waiting in our hearts for you coming, but Mama's list just quite isn't done. Her language, I'm telling you. I have some things I want to make ready before we bring you home, but I'm sure everything will be perfect. The three of us. That was said to me so many times, so to see it in her handwriting grosses me out. The three of us will be so happy, I promise you. I love you, sweetheart, Mama. Okay, maybe I am reading it in a nefarious tone of voice, in a villainous tone. That is possible, but it sounds like a threat. When you know who this person was and what she did to me, it reads like a fucking threat. Ah. This entry was written 40 years ago at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's the longest entry so far. It's 2 full pages. 3 a.m. on April 8th, 1984. Hi, sweet baby. It's early in the morning. Mommy and Daddy woke up at 1:30 a.m. and we held and touched and talked about you. Daddy just stirred in his sleep and he asked if I was writing to baby. I said yes, and he said, "Say I love you," and then fell back asleep. That's our guy. I love Daddy so much. When we went to the doctor on April 3rd, my blood pressure went down a bit, but I gained 6¼ pounds of water weight in 1 week. I was afraid he was going to put us in the hospital, but he gave me another 3 days bed rest at home. And when we went to the doctor on Friday, the 6th of April, Mama's blood pressure went down to almost normal, and I had lost 5 pounds of water. So now it's only 2 weeks from today that Mama goes into the hospital, and on the Monday after Easter, you will be born, unless you want to come sooner. Sweetheart, I'm getting so excited, and Daddy is also. We talked of how nice it will be to spoil you. Daddy said I spoiled him in about 2 weeks, so he said, can you imagine how fast baby will be spoiled? She's saying it at this point as a good thing, but that is one of the number one attacks that she had against me, was that I was spoiled rotten. And I'd be like, who did that? If you think that's true, which it was not true at all, who did that? What the fuck? And she was planning to do it before I even got here. Okay. Mommy and Daddy are hugging and holding lots these days, more so now than usual, because we really feel close and lucky that our miracle baby is coming to us. I almost forgot to tell you, Daddy's family went together and bought you a real nice car seat. And that was a real nice gift, because if we didn't have one, the hospital wouldn't let us bring you home. I hate to tell you this, baby, but there is no way we are leaving you there. We are your parents. We are far from being perfect. We will make some mistakes, but we will never, ever, ever stop loving you. God bless you, my sweet darling. God bless us all. Love you so much, Mama. Well, you made a lot of mistakes. You were not perfect. That is true. It's just the whole thing is weird. Ugh. I didn't have a mom. I had a hater. She was two-faced. She had a public persona and then who she was in private. She described herself as overprotective, but she was the one I needed protecting from. There was how it felt to be her child versus how she described herself. When you're raised in an environment with gaslighting, it's really hard to trust your own sense of what happened. I believe you. I believe myself, and I believe how it felt. I trust the feeling. I trust how the experience felt. not the words that were used to describe it by the person who was inflicting the harm. My mom said she loved me. She said I was her miracle child. But it felt like she hated me. It felt like she didn't like me at all. My experience was one of being neglected, and she described it that I was spoiled rotten. It's like, that's the opposite of how it felt. I made a commitment to myself when I was really little that I would never be that way. That what you see is what you get. That who I am in public is who I am in private. It's obvious where that came from. It was so gross to me. I would look at her and see this switch in her personality and just be like, I don't believe you. I don't trust you. I don't like you because you don't tell the truth. You're not who you are all of the time. You have different personalities for different people. And that just never felt right to me. You may not agree with what I say. You may not like what I say. But if I say it, I believe it. It's the truth to me. I am who I am all of the time. When I started reading from the baby notebook, I wasn't thinking about the dates lining up at all. And there are days that I feel like I don't want to read from the notebook, so I don't. There are days apparently that my parents don't feel like writing in the notebook. When I started, there were days where I was reading on the same day, just 40 years later than they wrote this. And now they skipped way more days than I did, which is kind of weird to be like, as the child, I'm more consistent in this project than they are. But also not surprising. And so they are now way ahead in the time frame. So we're now looking at April 9th, 1984, and we're in January. So they skipped a bunch of days. But this entry is from 9:45 a.m. on April 9th, 1984. This entry is written by my mom, even though my dad said he was going to write to the baby more frequently, has not written again. So just making record. Hi, sweet little baby. It's just 2 weeks, honey. Only 14 days, and we will be holding you in our arms. Honey, only 2 weeks from this minute. Mama is so happy. I simply don't believe it. Daddy left for work this morning after we had such a beautiful weekend together. We held and touched and talked about you. It was a perfect weekend. I didn't want to let Daddy go. He loves us so much. I love him so much. We will be the happiest family walking in the Lord's light. Okay. I have only good things in sight for our future, honey. We are a strong, bonded family, and the two of us welcome you to join us. Ugh. Daddy and I are best friends besides being lovers, and darling, you will fit so good into our family. Everyone else is waiting for you to come also. Grandma and Grandpa have been asking how I am, and they are so concerned about you. It is wonderful. To be a girl, because Mama carries you up front so much. But the doctor says because of your heartbeats being around 140 or so, you could be a boy. Everybody is just guessing, so I think we'll wait until the minute that the doctor holds you up and says it's a blank. Whatever you are, honey, I promise you that you will be a loved, welcomed, important part of our family. Honey, if you only knew how happy and excited we are. I am at a loss for words to tell you how I feel. I am a little afraid. I hope I can be a good enough mom for you. No, you weren't. Ugh. I know your daddy will be perfect because he is a perfect husband and friend and person. Okay, no. Mama will try real hard, but most of all, I will just love you bunches. I will close this letter now and very proudly sign off. Love, Mama. And she wrote Mama, like really big. No, just no. Today's entry is written by my mother, and I cannot figure out if it's April 13th or April 15th, but 1984. Hi, sweet baby cakes. Mama has to tell you it's less than 10 days until we are holding you in our arms. Mama has to make this a little short because I have to get ready for my doctor appointment. After this, we might only have one more appointment before we go to the hospital on Easter Sunday. And then at 8 a.m. Monday morning, Mama goes into surgery and Daddy will be along for support and to witness the birth of you, our baby. You are a part of Daddy and I, just as we plan to name you after both of us. If I had been a boy, they were going to name me Michael Lee Ross, which, thank goodness, that did not happen. So my mom's name was Rose and my dad's name was Lee, and then her father's name was Michael. His father's name was also his name. So it sounds like John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Okay. But my name, because I was assigned female at birth, is Rosalie, which is Rose and Lee, and then my middle name is both of my grandma's names smushed together, so I just have the longest name, and I am so glad that my name is not Michael Lee Ross. Just know, you are a part of Daddy and I, just as we plan to name you after both of us. We plan to love you together forever. We will protect you, care for you, trust you, believe in you, be proud of you. Well, the lie detector determined all of that is fucking false. Okay, let me read it again. Ugh. We plan, that was the plan, did not follow through the plan. We plan to love you together forever. We will protect you, care for you, trust you, believe in you, be proud of you. Honey, just everything you need. God bless you, love. I'll write more after we get home from the doctor. Daddy will be picking me up soon. All my love to you and Daddy. I mean, I get that you can plan for something and think it's going to be a certain way, and then when it actually happens, you don't know how you're going to be, you don't know how you're going to react. So I get that that was the plan, was to believe in me and trust me and love me and care for me and all of those things. And they just failed miserably at all of them. To the point where it felt intentional that it was the opposite. And she also said that she planned on writing more when they got home from the doctor. She didn't follow through with that plan either. So there was nothing else from that day. The most consistent thing was broken promises. I think of healing like a snow globe. We take an action that stirs something up, the glitter is spinning and swirling all around, and then we leave space for it to settle. The glitter falls into a new configuration. We see ourselves differently in this new way because things have shifted around. We've created something new inside of what has always just been. Today's entry from the baby notebook is really short. It's only like a quarter of the page. And there have been other times where the entry looks short and I have doubled up on that entry, and I just don't feel like doing that today. This is something that I believe when it comes to healing just in general, or Plumb practice specifically, or why I'm doing the baby notebook, or why I think I'm doing the baby notebook. I'm doing it because it was an intuitive nudge. And I think why underneath that is to learn about myself, learn about my parents, and also to create space. So I'm going to read whatever this little chunk is, and I'm not going to fill in extra more with another entry because I feel like I need space. If I don't pile more on top of it, it has room to expand, or room for me to feel or think different thoughts about it or something. So it's part of the benefit of doing things like this, where we don't cram ourselves full with information, is it allows other thoughts, other ideas, memories, things to occur inside of that space. So doing a writing practice once a week, or it's a feeling practice that includes writing, that's what Plumb practice is. It's I do that writing, have this conversation, and then I think about it for the rest of the week, and more things happen, more memories occur to me. I dream about it sometimes. So leaving that space and time for more things to happen feels like such an important part of healing. That it's you do something, you take an action, and then there's a natural amount of time or space where there's nothing, so that something can happen inside of that space. Does this make any sense? Reading this stirs some shit up in me. So it's I shake the snow globe, and then the space in between, doing one entry a day and not cramming multiple entries in, or sitting down and reading this whole notebook all the way straight through. That's why I'm not doing it that way. Because if I read it all at once, it would overwhelm my system. It would be too much. But reading one entry a day, it's like I stir it up, I tip the snow globe upside down, the glitter's spinning around for me while I'm reading it. And then the rest of the day, or the 24 hours, or sometimes I don't read it the next day because I still feel like stirred up. So, but the space in between allows things to settle. It allows things to integrate and connect to me. It's like healing. Some people in my comments think it's getting over it. Like, let it go, get over it. It's like, that's not how it works. Integration is how it works. Like, allowing it to just be. Like, my life experiences happened. Horrible things have happened to me. I can't just like step over it and walk away from it. It's a part of me. It's a part of what happened to me. So to create space in a safe way, in a gentle, incremental way, is what my entire healing experience is about. And it's the foundation of what we're doing with the Plumb Collective. It's like there's so much choice, there's so much space and co-creation for yourself that you can feel like, okay, is this expanding me, or is this taking it too far? Like, is this too much? Am I dysregulated, or am I stretched and stirred up, and like I can feel the glitter sort of settling back into something, but it's in a new formation. I am changed because I'm reading these entries, but not in a way that is abrupt or scary or too much for me. And when I feel myself approaching that threshold of it feeling like too much, it's way before it actually is too much. April 19th, 1984. Hi, sweet baby. It's only 86 hours until we hold you. It's like 3.5 days. What a weird, but 86 hours is just weird. Okay. It's only 86 hours until we hold you. The doctor said everything was fine and I have to see him tomorrow, which is Friday. Then on Sunday morning, Mama goes in for blood tests, and then at 5 p.m., I have to be checked in the hospital. That's it. No I love yous, no signing off. That is it. So this entry feels different than like this is very, like, just details. I wonder, I mean, the feeling I have is like shit's getting real. It's happening. And I remember that she had surgery like when I was, I don't know, in elementary school and junior high. And she was such like a horrible patient. I have had a ton of surgery and I'm like an incredible patient. I have patience being a patient. So I can only imagine how she behaved or how she was feeling before the C-section. So, my grandparents have died. There's a lot that I don't know about them and I'm curious about, so I am kind of tipping my toe back in just a little bit. But let's start with my mom's side. So her father was really scary and I think everybody was really intimidated by him. I wasn't, and so we got into it quite a bit when I was younger, and then he died when I was 9, and after he died, I didn't have any connection with that side of the family except for my mom's mother and then my mom's father's mother I did see, and then my grandmother, so my mom's mom, this is confusing, my mom's mom died when I was in my early 20s. My mom's dad was very, I think we actually had a lot of similarities, but the main thing that I remember is that my mom had like a lot of siblings and I had a lot of cousins, and so there was like a lot of activity in the house and it would be very noisy, and he would wear a pinky ring and he would tap his pinky ring on the table, just one tap, and everybody shut the fuck up. He definitely held a lot of power over everyone. And I think was like the standard for my mom and her siblings of like how to be a person. So like rules about perfection and doing things right and being like perfect really came from him. So, and I think he thought my mom was just a fuck up and a slob. And so the fact that I had a lot of similar interests, like he was a barber and I was a cosmetologist, and that really was offensive to my mom. She was like thought that I was too smart to do hair and like really talked down about it. And only recently have I kind of been thinking like, oh, that is more about her feelings about her father and their relationship than about me. So, and then she was very close with her mom, and I mean, my grandma just, she open mouth kissed several of my boyfriends, or tried to. So that's what I'll say about her. But my granny, my mom's father's mother, was the best. I had a very close relationship with her, but she died when I was, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11. I'm not really sure what age I was, but I was young. I was in grade school when she died. And then my dad's mother died when I was like 2 or 3, but I have very vivid memories of her, very distinct memories, which my mom would always say, like, that's impossible. Like, you can't possibly remember these things. And I would say, like, specific things I remembered, and it freaked her out. So I had a very, like, bonded relationship with my dad's mom, and she was very intuitive. And I have her diary, and she talks about knowing things that there's no way she could have known. So I do feel energetically, spiritually connected to my dad's mother and my mom's grandmother of anybody. And then my dad's dad, I have never heard a single person say anything good about him. Everything I've ever been told was that he was like the biggest monster. My dad told me specific stories about his childhood that are horrific, like traumatizing things to hear. And I know that my dad experienced it, but it's like, why did he tell me when I was a child specific details about his childhood that are like, they're burned into my brain, like they're horrible. So his father was just, I mean, really fucked up and had him doing all sorts of really awful things. So I do think about how my parents got to be who they became, and like the generational trauma and the generational energy of all of that. And it is something that I want to do photo readings on and do more intentional work, but I'm starting with my parents and just how I feel about them and my experience, because if I go to their trauma without addressing mine first, I think it would extend too much compassion to them. It's like, and it would bypass my experience if I just go, oh, well, they were traumatized by their parents, and so that's why they treated me the way that they did. Well, I was traumatized by my parents, and I have not treated anyone horribly. I have not harmed another human being. So I don't think that that has to be the case. But yeah, really horrible stories of, I mean, just really bad, really, really bad. And his childhood was very traumatic. So my dad's dad experience as a child, I wouldn't wish on anybody. And I think he took that and just punished everyone that he came in contact with because of how unwanted he felt. And I think if I had to boil down everything about my grandparents and my parents, why it all went the way that it did, I think they all, in their own ways, had proof of being unwanted. What they chose to do with that experience, I don't agree with, and I wish they didn't. But yeah, so, and then my dad's dad died way before I was born, so I never met him. But like I said, I've only heard the most horrific stories, and like, he was always presented to me as worst monster. I mean, I've not heard anything, even on true crime stories, that tops the things that my dad told me about his dad. So there's a lot for me to explore.